to Instagram here, hopefully. Come on. Instagram is being a bit of a bugger. Wait. You might be, woohoo, there we go. Got it. Nice. Okay. So here we are, finally home. And I should be, now that I am finally home, we should be live to, okay, awesome. There's Sarah on Facebook. So we're definitely live on Facebook. Um, we should be live on Instagram. I don't see anybody showing up yet, but that's because we just started, hopefully. And then, awesome, look at that. Monique is on YouTube. So I know that we're working on YouTube and on Facebook, and now there are people joining on Instagram. So, yes, we are finally working on all three platforms because I am home. Good morning, Monica. Um, yeah, that was last week. I tried to do the live. 2 weeks ago, I did the live from Penzic, and we walked around the little medieval market and looked at some of the crafts and the things that were available, and was super fun. If you missed it, it is you can watch the replays on YouTube. There's a crochet. There's a what is it? A lunch with the Foundry playlist on YouTube, so you can always find the it would have been, what was that date? Well, today is the 14th, so it would have been the 1st, August 1st. Lunch with the Foundry, where we walked around the medieval market, only like half of the medieval market at Penzic. I looked at some of the different things they had for sale, and that was super fun. Last week, I was going to show off some crafts, and I had a couple people who were going to like show you some crafts and stuff that we were doing, some yarny crafts that we were doing at Penzic that are medieval crafts. And of course, it would not connect because, like I said, limited internet access, and I guess I was a little too far away from anything for my phone to even like acknowledge there was such thing as an internet. So that didn't exactly happen. So sorry about that little mishap last week. And I think the whole time it was just not playing nice with, I think with Instagram. The whole time I was there, it wasn't playing nice with that. So now that I am back inside, no longer camping, in a house with really good internet and all of that fun stuff, we are here. And even though it is the third Wednesday in August, we are going to, well, I guess I'm only off by 1 week because the first Wednesday was before the first Friday, right? So the first Friday of August, the August edition came out. And then last week would have been the first Wednesday after the first Friday, which is when I normally show off all of the patterns and everything to you guys. But that obviously didn't happen because I was limited internet, limited power. So we are going to do that today. I have set up I've set up on to share my screen over on Canva to show you some of these designs, and we can do that today. Before I do that, and then I'll probably tell you again after I do it, we are having the, I am just so wiped out from 2 weeks of camping. Oh my God, guys. Sit and stitch. That's what we're having. We are having our sit and stitch tonight from 7 to 9 Eastern time on the beach 6 over at Instagram. Says hi. Hello. Um, so tonight from 7 to 9, we are having our sit and stitch. We have them on nearly every Wednesday. Basically every Wednesday when I am home, we will have a sit and stitch. Now, you can get the link to the sit and stitch either from the from the weekend newsletter, or you can also get the link to the sit and stitch on the Crochet Foundry Makes Facebook group. So either one of those places will have the link for tonight's sit and stitch. Also, in the Facebook group, and I put a link in the newsletter I sent over the weekend. We are having a little poll. Good morning from Southern California. First time here. Good morning, Sandra. So in the Crochet Foundry Makes Facebook group, I put up a poll for times that work best for our live sit and stitches. The live sit and stitches are 2 hours long. They're on Zoom, so you don't have to be a member of this, that, or the other thing. They're just on Zoom. They're 2 hours long. They are free. There are no requirements other than there are 2 rules. Rule number 1 is be kind, and rule number 2 is don't make me make any other rules. All right? So, excuse me. That's about it. You can crochet, you can knit, you can do some other yarny craft, you can do other crafts at all, any other crafts. You can just sit and chill. You know, sometimes people are like, I just need to break. I need to relax and hang out with cool people. That's cool too. Whatever floats your boat, you can have your video on or off, your audio on or off. Of course, we love it the best when you have your video and your audio both on and we can all chat. That definitely makes it way more entertaining when there's a lot of people who can chat and everything. And I try to not do my rambly bit thing where I take over everything. I really try to, watch myself. Hello, this is Gabby. Hello, Gabby. Well, I'm Jessie, but that's Gabby, even though it doesn't say Gabby. That's Gabby. Hi, Gabby. um, so yeah, there is a poll in the Facebook group Crochet Foundry Makes where you can let us know what times work best for you. I just have 1 hour time increments, and you just check off any of them that work. Check off every single one that works, because my goal is to find times that work for the most amounts of people. And like I said, it runs for 2 hours, but I put 1 hour slots in the poll. If you are not on Facebook and you want to let me know what time works for you, then just go ahead and reply to the newsletter I sent out over the weekend, or send an email over to support@crochetfoundry.com and let me know these are the times that work best for you. I'm taking everything in Eastern time just because that makes sense for me. It's where I live, and I had to choose a time zone, so why not choose my own, right? And then, yeah, I will do my best. If there is absolutely positively no way you can do a Wednesday between 10 a.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern, then you can let me know and let me know what would work for you. I may try just like once a month doing something on another day. I just can't guarantee it. It's all going to depend on what my family's schedule looks like and everything, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, I would love to find times where at least once a month every single person can go. I just don't necessarily know that I can, but if you don't tell me what works for you, then I don't know. All right, so let me know. And let's look at this stuff. Let's look at the awesome August designs, okay? So the August designs, woohoo! And our August theme was vintage collegiate. So I can go and, let me get back to comments, because apparently I'm missing some. Oh, Sanita, hi, I haven't heard from you in a while. Sandra, I am located in the Eastern time zone, which is like New York City. And so I am asking people when they let me know times that work for them to give me the times in Eastern time zone, just so that it's all in one time zone. If you happen to give it to me in a different time zone, as long as you tell me what time zone you're talking about, I can figure it out. But, it's always easiest if you just talk to me in Eastern time zone so that I can have everything compiled in one time zone. All right. So here we have the August edition of Crochet Foundry, and the theme is vintage collegiate, okay? Because college is, school's starting right here in August and everything, and some people in September, but this is one of our newer models, Kai, and they are fabulous. I absolutely love using them as a model, so I'm sure we will be seeing more of them. And this is the sophomore sweater by Jess Bennett. Unfortunately, when I make it really big like this, it no longer shows me the titles of the photos. So hopefully I remember what everybody is and who designed them all. And there's no little arrow. If I just, there we go. I can just click and it'll turn. All right, so here we have, again, there's, what'll happen is you'll see a bunch of the same, a bunch of the pictures from one pattern and then a bunch of pictures from the next pattern. That's just the way they are over here in Canva. So Sunita has been busy, which is why I haven't seen her around. And usually Sunita comes to our live sit and stitches. We haven't seen her in a couple weeks. So, all right, now we have, again, the sophomore sweater by Jess Bennett. And over here is actually, we'll see more of this one later, is one of the vests that I can't remember the name of this vest, but it is also by Jess Bennett. Varsity vest. Aha, I remembered. Also by Jess Bennett. More of the sophomore sweater. You can see it looks awesome on various genders here. More of the sophomore sweater. All right. So, and you can see I love that it has this little slit in the side, okay, because it makes it so comfortable. And if you wanted to make it a little bit longer, you could. And when you sit down, you don't have to worry about, like, you know, sometimes when you sit down, it kind of, your sweater kind of like gathers up at the stomach because your legs bend. If it goes longer than like where your legs bend, it gathers up at the stomach. But if you have the little slit, it doesn't do that. Also, if you're someone who is more blessed in the backside, sometimes when your sweaters are a little bit longer, they get really tight around the backside. So the slit just makes some added comfort, and just keeps everything. You can see here she's sitting in the back, still looks all nice and neat because it hasn't been pulled up like the front has because she sat, right? They sat. So you gotta love that. And here we go again on Nate, and back here on Kai. You can see we have a nice little raglan seam going on over here. I really like the size of these stripes. I think they work really nicely. And again, a nice, bright, sunny day. You don't have to be going off to college. Who knows? When you could be going to college. You can go to college at any age, right? All right, and now we have the Argyle vest by Annalise Mansfield, I believe is Annalise's last name. Little Miss Manny, I think, is her design name. And these lines across the top of the Argyle are all surface crochet. So first you crochet this whole guy back and forth with just the diamonds, the big diamonds, and then at the end you add in your surface crochet to make those little lines going across it, which is super fun. I love it. And it makes it so you're not doing quite so much color changing, right? And you can see the back is solid. Now in our customizations, there is the option to make the back with the same color, the same pattern, right? Just remember, if you make the back with the same pattern as the front, then you are going to need, your yarn amounts are going to be different. So just keep that in mind. You're going to use more of every color but what was normally the back color and less of what was the back color. All right, let me see. I've got a few comments here. This was from the previous one. Love having a longer back with the slit for maximum butt coverage. Exactly, which is one of the things that makes that slit so nice because you can always really easily make that adjustment. So here we go with our Argyle vest. And again, a little bit more of a look at the Argyle vest. I love that it looks good on various sizes. It will also look good on various genders. Yeah, exactly, Monique. It's like you didn't really think about making Argyle with crochet, right? Because that's a whole lot of color changes and all of that. But I love the idea of using the surface crochet to make the little lines that go through Argyle. Isn't it fun? All right. More of the Argyle vest. So, and you can make this with less ease if you want, okay? You can see that Laura, I believe is the name of this model. She's one of the models from our previous photographer, so I never met her. You can see that she is wearing this with a decent amount of ease. You can wear it with less ease if you want. You don't have to have as much ease there. Ease, for those of you who aren't sure, and it's usually in all of our patterns, ease means the difference between your measurements and the measurement of the garment. So if it says that you want 4 inches of positive ease around the chest, then that means you measure your chest. And if your chest measures 44 inches, well, that's a whole lot of fours, dude. Let's say your chest measures 38 inches, okay? So you measure your chest, it's 38 inches. The pattern says you want 4 inches of positive ease. So you go 38 positive plus 4 equals 42. Now you know you want to make the sweater that has a finished measurement of the 42-inch chest. That's 4 inches of positive ease. If the pattern said you wanted 4 inches of negative ease, so that's something like really fit and you like things tight and everything, then that means you'll measure your chest again. It's 38 inches and it says 4 inches of negative ease. So 38 negative ease means minus. 38 minus 4 is 34. You want to make a garment with the finished measurement, chest measurement of 34. And if you make a garment that says no ease, that means if your chest measures 38, you want to make a garment that has the chest measurement of 38. In most cases, I try to make sure that we always do it this way. The pattern will tell you if you need positive ease, how much positive or negative ease or no ease that you need, and it'll tell you based on which measurement, okay? So that way you know if you want to base it off of your bust, if you want to base the chest, if you want to base it off your hips, if you need to base it off whatever you need to base it off, the pattern will tell you which measurement is the measurement you're basing your ease off of. You do that, and then we give you the finished measurements of each size. As long as you have the correct gauge, then everything should work nicely for you. Here we go. You like ease. Your daughter wants this, but as a tank top or a vest. Okay, cool. I'm glad that, thank you for talking about ease. It's a bit confusing. I'm glad that helped you out. Yeah, you could probably get a little creative and figure out how to make it a tank top. All right, let's keep going. All right, a little bit more of the Argyle vest. All right, now this is the, I don't know if I'm saying this right, scripturant scarf. And I did look up that word, and now I can't remember exactly what it means. So here we have Nate looking all cool wearing his scarf. And here we have a little close-up of it. It is a mini basket weave stitch. I believe initially it was written in the pattern as the, what is that stitch? I can't remember the name of the stitch that it was written as. Alpine stitch. It said Alpine stitch. And then we had to go in and edit it all to say mini basket weave stitch. I think originally she was going to do Alpine stitch and then she switched it or something. But there's one place in there where we missed switching it from Alpine stitch to basket weave stitch. It's just the words that's different. The word, it says Alpine stitch instead of basket weave stitch. So if you come across that and you're like, Alpine stitch, what the heck? I only noticed it the other day, so I have to go in and like fix that stuff. But yes, this is a mini basket weave stitch. The pattern, all the pattern is correct. The wrong term was used in one spot, but it's correct pattern. Let's see. So we have this scripture and scarf. You can see it's just nice and warm, and it uses We Crochet Wonder Fluff, which is so nice and soft. So it's warm and it's soft and it's cozy and it's great for just like wrapping up in. Oh my goodness, I never noticed this before. Nate is a person after my heart. Look at this. It says, Still I Rise. It's Maya Angelou. See? And for those of you who don't realize, if you look over at me here in the corner, here. For those of you who think I'm kidding when I say Maya Angelou is like one of my heroes, I've had this book since I was a senior in high school when I bought it. And it's always nearby. And Still I Rise is one of my favorite poems. You can see it's all like browning and all the pages are dog-eared, and sure enough, Still I Rise is one of the ones that is, of course, dog-eared in here because it's amazing. So, oh my goodness, I never noticed that before. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that spot on his arm before, since I've never met him in person. It's just what we can see on the photos, right? All right, so here we go. More of the scripture and scarf, and now Nate is making a lot of appearances in these photos. We have by Lena. I can't. I especially without seeing her name written, I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing Lena's last name. This is the vintage striped varsity sweater, or it might be the striped vintage varsity sweater. I may have some of those words in the wrong order. But it is a beautiful pattern, a beautiful sweater. It is by Lena S. And it uses yarn from Jimmy Bean. And you can see that we have these fun little stripes that are just in some parts of it. And again, you'll see as we go through the photos, this one also has the slit on the side, and so many measurements with this one. It's like just really, really easy to tell if it's going to fit or not. It was probably a little bit small for Kai here, but we were trying to get a couple more pictures in addition to what we already had. So it's maybe a tiny bit on the big side for Nate and a tiny bit on the small side for Kai. I am working on making sure that we always have models and samples that really, really do fit together. Yes, that was a very well-read book, and I still read it. Yes, Lena has amazing, amazing patterns. And of course, a lot of them are going to be using a Jimmy Bean's wool yarn or yarn available there because that's where Lena works currently. All right, we have a few more with the vintage stripes varsity sweater. Like I said, I can't see the names of the things without when I have the big screen up. And then, of course, the varsity vest over here that we're going to see more of. Here we go. You can really see how this has the little slits in it. And it's so like nice and cozy. And of course, you can decide how much ease you want. So you can make it with a little bit, it's got probably a little bit more ease than it needs here on Nate. But that's also really like comfy and cozy, right? I just love those. And it's really easy. It's got a nice boat neck, so it's great for layering because it's really easy to get on and off. So if you're layering up and you're going into the library to study or going to the movies or whatever, where it's going to be colder, so you layer up and then you go someplace else afterwards where it's not so cold and you want to take it off. It's really easy to layer because it looks nice with a lot of ease, and because it has this boat neck that it's not going to like make a big mess when you're trying to take it off if you have glasses or a hairstyle or whatever. So you gotta love that. Okay, now we're on to the varsity vest. Okay, and this is a lot of the photos that were taken here are taken at my local library. So this is actually one of the little study spots in my local library. And this is Katie Temple. Katie is actually our the senior aide to the governor of New Jersey, and also the daughter of Mary Beth Temple of she had the podcast Getting Loopy, and lots and lots. She's had just so many books, and yeah, Mary Beth is amazing. So Mary Beth Temple, this is her daughter Katie Temple, and Katie is an amazing woman in her own right as well. Like I said, she is the senior aide to the governor of New Jersey, and just an amazing young woman. I absolutely love it when we get to have her come over for dinner and stuff, and send her home with lots of leftovers. It's fun. My kids adore her. She's very human. And this vest, oh my goodness. Look at each one of these little diamonds is its own little different color. Isn't that awesome? Like I saw that in the sketch. Oh, here you can really see it. I saw it in the sketch, and I just fell madly in love with it because it's just, I mean, Look at that. It's so cool. It's like you're like peeking in little pockets of color. And then she went ahead and put the colors again on the stripe along the bottom of the vest. So that is a whole lot of fun. This would be really cute over like a button up collared, shirt, like a man style shirt. Um, this would be so cute over that. And, whatever else you want to wear it over. It'd be cute over just like a long sleeve tee or whatever as well, or just like Katie has it on as a shirt by itself. So here we go again with the varsity vest, and this is actually back at the beginning, the sophomore sweater, and this is the photo that's on the cover of the magazine this for August. So you see all this stuff works really nicely with just jeans or slacks or whatever. Great for just hanging out, studying, all of that. I love all the colors going on in here. And look, you'll even notice the two different sides, the color patterns change a little bit too. So if you go across, you'll see each of the three colors. And then when you're looking up and down, at least on the spots where there are at least three, you're also going to see a variety of the colors. So I love the way that all worked out. It's really fun. This is also by Jess Bennett. Okay, so there we go. A little bit more. And a few more. There are a lot of photos here. This is the Professor's Scarf. The Professor's Scarf is our third pattern by Jess Bennett. And all three of those Jess Bennett patterns were made with Asylum Yarns. And Asylum Yarn is a dyer in Connecticut, Stephanie. She lives up in Connecticut, and she's an indie dyer. She does everything in the basement of her home. And when you look through the magazine, you'll see there is a page of the magazine that has photos of like the process of her dyeing the yarn for the magazine. Stephanie is an amazing person. I really love her, and her yarns are just a joy to work with. This one is actually a bulky merino, and the other two were worsted weight. I believe they were worsted weight, not DK, but I'm almost positive they're worsted weight. Okay, let's see. Hold on. We got a few more. People are really loving the vest. It is so cool. And Sunita's at the dentist. She'll see later tonight for the Zoom. Yay! I'm so glad you're coming back to the Zoom. That's awesome. We missed you. All right. Well, I hope the dentist is good and doesn't cause you a lot of pain. All right. So here, this is actually this is a whole bunch of different stripes, which is so fun in this pattern. And it's written starting on this end right here. And so the way that Jessica wrote it, it's like you start off on this end and it's a big chunk of a solid color. Then you start doing some stripes. And then by the time you get to this side, you're doing stripes within the rows. And so it's great for a beginner or an early crocheter because you're kind of learning a little bit more as you go through. So I love that Jessica really took that into account when she was designing this scarf. So you start here and you have solid colors, then you go to some stripes, different kinds of stripes. These are all that you're changing the colors in between rows. And then we get here and we start doing some really easy color work. All right, I absolutely love it. And I love that you put a little bit of the other color on the edge of the fringe over here. That just adds a little extra fun, right? So there you go. And of course you can do this. You don't have to do it in as many colors as Jessica did. You can just use your colors, or you can make each little different section represent a different thing. Maybe one of them is your high school colors, and one of them is your undergrad colors, and one of them is your grad school colors, and one of them is your state color. I don't know. Have fun with it. Your favorite sports teams. Whatever just makes you smile. Have fun. So, not only is this scarf beautiful, imagine you learn so much when you make it. Exactly, which is so fun. It's a great beginner pattern. And yes, and a neat idea. Yeah, I love just like this could totally be like your different schools or different sports teams or whatever. It's super, super fun. Or you could just go with one set of colors for whatever your school is or your favorite sports team is or whatever. That was weird. We had a white for a moment there, just a solid white. Okay, so here we go. And now this is the It's by Christina Diaz, and I cannot remember the name of it. If somebody like can pop the name in the comments, somebody who has access to the name real quick, that would be awesome. I can't remember the name of this thing. It's a button up something. I think it's like a button up vest or something, but it's cool. It's worked. If you'll notice, it's actually worked side to side. So we start here. Okay, we start right here and we just keep going. We go around, and this is actually two long rectangles. So this is one piece, wraps around all the way to the back, and then it's folded in half and seamed at the side. If you remember the Domino Squares crop top from July, this is made in a similar manner where you have two rectangles. So here's rectangle number one, folded in half, seamed at the side. This is rectangle number two. Again, we start here and work that way. Buttoned up preppy crop top. Thank you. I knew there was like a button going on in there. Buttoned up preppy crop top. Thank you, Sarah. That is the name of this pattern. And yeah, I love the way we have this piece worked side to side. So you don't have as many rows to do, right? Because you're making the long rows to make this rectangle, and then the long rows to make this rectangle, and then you seam them on the sides. And we'll see here. Let's keep looking. You'll see how the little button thing is added. The button band is added at the end, and you can see here that it's seamed up the back as well. So you seam it up the back, the sides, put on the button band, and then you have a little extra border along the bottom and the edge of the sleeves and the neck and all of that. So you really see how this construction works here. And it's a lot of fun. It's really cool the way that it's put together. I like it. You can choose, because the two little button bands, the part that has the buttons underneath and then the part that has the buttonholes on top, um, because that's added on at the very end. If you only wanted it to button up to like here, you could totally do that. Just make it shorter, right? And again, you could also make this longer and not have it seam all the way on the sides. You'd have to do a little bit of finagling with the border if you're not seaming it all the way up the side, but you could totally do that and just have it split on the side if you don't want it to be crop, if you want it to be longer. So this is a lot of fun. This would be a really fun, like, long duster kind of vest, right? I think that would be cool if you just opened it right around the hips, but then made the rectangles long enough to go like mid calf length. That would be a whole lot of fun, I think. It could be nuts. But am I really at the end? Was that all of them? I think it was. In fact, I'm hitting my button. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, that must be the end of it. Look at that. We went all the way through. Let me go and get my face really big again. Woohoo! There we go. My face really big again. And I am going to see about pulling up the actual magazine here on my other screen. Let's see if I can do that. I want to see if I have any like questions. Oops, I missed some. I missed some here over at Instagram. It wasn't scrolling for me. On the Beach 6 says my coffee maker broke this morning. Yes. Okay, so you get the like morning vlogs here. My coffee maker broke this morning. I totally get it. That was a comment from a while ago, but yeah, mornings are rough, man. I was going to pull up. Let's see. You never know what screen these things are going to pop up on when you open them. I'm going to go over here to Crochet Foundry. I should have had this one ready, and I forgot. Oh well, life goes on, right? August. Here we go. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to change the screen that we're sharing because, oh no, I don't have to change the screen that we're sharing because it's shared the screen, not the window. Okay, so let's pop back over here since we still have some time. Let's see. Love Scars makes an outfit more polished. Yes. Sorry if you're late with the name, you had to find it. No worries. Uh, Sarah got it. It was the button up. Oh yeah, here we go. Button up preppy crop by Christine Dias. Yes. Was the crop and then uh, ah okay. So maybe you're gonna make the button up preppy crop, but not cropped. Cool. All right. So and that should be a pretty easy adjustment to make because you just want to make sure you figure out your gauge, and you just want to make it take your little measuring tape and figure out I want it to go from like here to, from I want it to go down to like my mid thigh. So you just measure it. If you have a friend, when you start doing this sort of stuff, you're going to make those measurements different. So what you really need is to just like stand still and have a friend take that measurement for you and don't look down. That changes things too. All right, so I'm going to see if I can get the whole, um, here we go. Nice. All right. So here we have the cover page. Woohoo! And are we gonna turn pages? How do we? There we go. Okay. So I just wanted to show you some of our fun interviews and stuff. You can see this one. Here we go. The we have a kind of a cause or whatever that we do free advertising for every month based on one of the like this special day or that special week or this special month. There's it's in here. I'll show you in a moment and explain it. For behind the collection, again, I had a few really nice little sketches from the various designers, and so I wanted to show you how things go from here. We have the Argyle vest sketch along with the little swatch, okay, and then here are the charts that are actually in the pattern. You can see this is what you're actually crocheting at first, and then in the end, you add in the lines. So that's a really nice set of schematics, and you can see from design to completion. And then over here, and see here we have completed. So you kind of go around, whoosh. And then here we have the professor's, no, I'm sorry, the sophomore sweater, showing our raglan seams. I'm having English issues. And here we have the varsity vest, okay? And you can see how they went from the sketches on over to the finished items, okay? And you even see like the colors are usually similar but not identical. And the reason is when the designers send in their design, when I put out a design call, I send out a design call to all of the designers on our list. And if you want to be one of the designers on the list, you can go over to crochetfoundry.com and underneath one of the tabs um, is like design for us or become a designer. I don't remember. I wasn't planning on saying all of this, so I did like check everything first to make sure I have all the right names. But on the top menu, there's all the little droppy down things, and one of them has become a designer, design for us, or design for the magazine or whatever. You can click on that, and you can sign up to be on the mailing list that will get the email list that will get the design calls. When you get the design calls, there are some Pinterest mood boards, and then each month I have a color palette. I have the mood board with like showing different kind of ideas of styles and such. And then I have a little like written up part that explains what I'm looking for as well for that month. So that is why you'll notice that these sketches that were sent in as design proposals, the finished patterns may not be identical because maybe I said, oh, I think we could do, who knows? I might have said, oh, I only want one stripe of diamonds here, which I didn't, but I could have, and then you'd be like, but there's three there, and there's only one here, and you never know. And this has like the rounded neck, but the finished one has the V-neck. So sometimes things change in the process between the proposal going in and the finished item being the finished item. And sometimes the colors change a lot. Like these colors changed a decent amount. They were kind of um, burgundy and a pink and a cream, and they changed to almost to like a camel and a purple, and the burgundy maroon is still pretty similar. But we changed the colors a little bit, and then this one the colors were similar, but we went with a more mustard rather than the kind of olive here. So things change a little, but not usually a whole lot. All right. Oh, I need to hit the button. All right. So, I was talking about the every month, every issue, we have something that we do some free advertisements for. And this month there was International Day of the World's Indigenous People. So we went ahead and did a couple advertisements for some places that help out that cause, and I even linked an additional article over here. All right, so this is just for those of you looking for a place to donate to, who just want to understand like some of the things going on in the world. I feel like I have this platform, and I be kind is one of the really important things in my life. So I like to make sure you all know some different ways you can be kind. I don't expect everybody to do something for every single one of these charities or organizations, but it might at least give you a little education too, which is always nice. All right. Oh my gosh, this guy, Akeem Kidder, this artist, he is awesome. I met him at Vogue Knitting Live, and I love his work. Guys, these are all made with just pieces of yarn glued onto canvases. So this is a really wonderful interview. He gave such amazing answers. All yarn. Isn't this cool? And you can buy a lot of these. You can buy the actual yarn art pieces, and you can also buy prints of some of them. Okay, so here are just amazing pieces. I love them all. And this is a really great interview, so definitely read it. We have an article here by Joanne. She does an article every single month for us, and this one is on the versatility of granny squares. Sarah loves Akeen's work, and you love reading that everyone is life gives and yarn scraps. I know, isn't that hysterical? I absolutely, it's so funny. It's so cute too. Um, yes, you didn't know the art that he does is phenomenal. You never knew you could do that with crochet, and it's just over the top creative. Well, this isn't actually. This one isn't crochet. This one is the let me get it. Akeen's work isn't actually crochet. It's just pieces of yarn. If you look close, you can see it's just pieces of yarn glued on. You can tell really easily on this one because they're all different colors next to each other in the blues. Um, Great description about Gage. Oh wait, look at there. I think is that this one? Is that was this one about Gage? I think so. Um, so right, I keep trying to use the mouse instead of the buttons. So here we have the granny squares, right? A little bit about different things to do with granny squares. And Gregory Stitch is doing the Stitch Factor crochet fashion design competition, and this is going to be so much fun. So you can read all about that. Okay, lots of cool things, and it is on September 29th in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you can make it, go. It's going to be so cool. Okay, Gauge matters. So uh, this is part 2 of that 3-part series about how to make sure you absolutely love the things you create. They don't end up just in like the scrap in the back of the closet, never to be used again because you finished it and ugh. So this article is all about Gauge, and I have to get that. I have the freebie printable for the members. I need to get that up in the members area. I'm looking for I cleaned. It's never a good thing when I clean it. Here we go. I knew there was something I was forgetting because, again, I was on vacation when all of this came out, and I totally spaced on the printable Gauge sheet. I have it. I just need to get it up there, so it will be free for the members. It'll be free for members, and it will be something that other people can go ahead and just buy the printable if they would like. Let's see. So here's a whole article about gauge and why it's important. And then we go on to our patterns. And let's see, how quickly do you think I can go through this? Oh, there was some really cool, I love this. Bean salad that she made in her sophomore year of college. So she figured it would go well with the sophomore skirt, the sophomore sweater. And here is one of those ads that I was talking about. La, la, la. This is fun. Bonus tutorial for hanging garland. That would be really cute in your dorm or whatever using scraps. Asylum fibers. Here we have the pictures of the making of the yarn for us. And I'm glad to see that Stephanie was taking some time to enjoy herself while making the the yarn for us. I absolutely love that. And then on the bottom right is the picture that Jess Bennett sent in of her whole asylum yarn haul, which is just epically beautiful. I love it. I love when there's like that bit of color variation in the hand dyed yarn, so you get like a texture to your color. And Stephanie does that really well. I really like it. So you can see here, it's got that nice texture to the color um, without looking like somebody didn't know what they were doing. It just looks nice, right? All right, so in here you can see the little schematic for the button-up preppy crop top. And then our cover pattern, it worked out that the cover photo, even though it had two patterns, they were both by the same designer. So our behind the design interview was able to be just one interview still, since it was all the same designer. And I love that she has a little quilting Instagram, so I shared some of those photos. And of course, our puzzles. And at the end, we have yarn substitution ideas for if you have different budgets, or if you have problems getting one yarn based on where you are, it doesn't come to your area, or maybe you have allergies. Whatever the issues are, I try to give you three yarn substitutions for each yarn used, and I try to make sure that they're going to have different price points, and also at least one of them is really affordable. And also that if it's something that people tend to be allergic to, such as a wool or whatever, I try to make sure I give you some options that are no animal fibers or whatever. Okay, so what you're making, what we're making, which are sneak peeks for next month, for September, right? Look at those cool things. These were the what you're making. Okay, and the what you're making comes from those posts we put up. We're now having a work in progress Wednesdays, every Wednesday. So on the Crochet Foundry Makes group. So if you have to be in the Crochet Foundry Makes group, share your whips on the Wednesday whips post, and you may find them here. And then this is what we're making, which are sneak peeks for next month. And then your question of the month. Every week we have a question of the week on Instagram. It used to be on Tuesdays. I just moved it to Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, there's the work in progress Wednesdays in the Crochet Foundry Makes group, which is where we get the what you're making section. And then every Wednesday now, used to be Tuesday, but now it's Wednesday. Every Wednesday on Instagram, there's a question of the week. And then what I do is I go through and I find one of the questions that's through one of the questions from the last month that has some really great answers to it, and I put 4 of those answers here. So if you answer the question of the week over on Instagram, you may end up here in our question of the month in the magazine. And I believe that's it. Yes, with just the abbreviations at the end. And that is the end of the issue. And look at that, it's only $12.50. Where is my mouse? Woohoo, mouse. There we go. So let's see, hold on. I think we have a few more things said. Really love the issue. You know, Crochet Foundry, but great information about the fiber world. Yes, I try to make sure that I know it's Crochet Foundry. The patterns are all crochet. And there are articles and interviews about crochet, but I also want to make sure that I'm sharing other information with you that I think you'll find interesting. And I definitely like to highlight a yarn artist or yarn or fiber artist in every single issue, and just share information with you that I think you will find interesting. And of course, because to me, being kind and making the world a better place is very important to me. So, I was a Girl Scout. They always say leave when you go somewhere and you borrow a space or whatever, leave the space cleaner than how you found it, or better than how you found it. And I kind of have that that viewpoint on life in general. Leave the world better than how you found it, and society better than how you found it. So that's why I like to have the little, extra little charity thing, extra little the free ads with a theme for every month, so that if anybody else wants to take a moment and give some love somewhere, it'll give you some ideas of places you can do that. Crossword, very eager to find out if you got any of them right in September's issue. Yes, if you want the answers to the puzzles, they're in the next month's issue. So the August issue has July's answers. The September issue will have August answers, and so on and so forth. All right. Yeah, so many, see, and this is one of the reasons why we make sure to do those yarn subs. Is it doesn't matter how beautiful that, hand-dyed merino yarn from Asylum Fibers is. If Monique is very allergic to wool, she better not use that yarn, right? So that's one of the reasons why I like to do the yarn subs. So I'm not sure what we used to say that in guides. Oh, yeah, they used to have the guides with the magazines that were separate, but now it's all together. And let me check Instagram to see. Nope, no more additional comments, just people joining, which is always nice. All right, so I think we basically got everything here. Oh, girl guides. Yes. Leave it better than you thought. Thank you. Yes, the girl guides. Right, because you're in Canada. I knew that. I knew it was Girl Guides Canada. I totally did. Actually, I did. So, yeah, I was a Girl Scout, and I was also a Girl Scout leader. And it's fun. I like it. And they're very inclusive and just wonderful. All right, so I think that's basically it for today, guys. I will. I love you too, Monique. I will hopefully see a whole bunch of you in like 6 hours. It is 12:54, so nearly 1 p.m. here in the Eastern Time Zone, and our live is at 7 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. So that means wherever you are in the world, 6 hours from now is when our sit and stitch starts, okay? And it will run for 2 hours. And so please feel free to come and join. You can get the link from the Crochet Foundry Makes group, or it was also in the weekend, this weekend's newsletter. So either one of those places will be a great place to get the information, the link for the sit and stitch that is live tonight. And I hope to see a bunch of you there. And, bring your crafts, don't bring your crafts, whatever. But definitely, if you're going to have your audio on, bring your water or some other drink, because we get talking and laughing and having a great time, and you're going to need something to drink so you don't lose your voice. And if you have a question and we're busy just being like all social and stuff, you can speak up. And the other thing is, on Zoom, there's a little place where you can put like a little hand raising icon. So like if we're just like going on and on about some like, I don't know, whatever, we get lost sometimes. Just if you're uncomfortable just like interrupting us, you can raise that little hand icon, and I'll see it and get everybody to calm down for a moment so we can get to your question, because it's always good to it's a great place to get help with your crocheting. honestly, I know a lot about crochet and knit, and I also know a decent amount about a lot of other crafts. So even if it's a little bit off subject, if you think that somebody there might be able to help you, why not ask, right? I mean, like, it's the point of the sit and stitches is kind of to have some socialization. A lot of us don't get out as much as we would like. I live in a city that's not always, I don't always share viewpoints with a lot of the people who live here. So it's hard for me to find socializations options around here. I can go over to Montclair, over to the next town where Katie lives, and they're really cool. Um, but again, I work a lot. I don't get out a lot. So for me, this is a great way for me to socialize with people who I know we have this common passion with our yarn and our crafts and everything. So it's really about having some time with people with a common passion and just where you know that you're going to be able to be there, have a good time, be accepted exactly as you are. We don't care if your hair is going 10 different ways and you're not wearing any makeup and this, that, and the other thing. We don't care. We just are so happy to have friends and see you there and chat and just have a good time. It's great for your mental health and it's great for socialization. It's a lot of fun, and by all means, if you have questions, bring them with you because I love being able to help people. Like, I get so excited when somebody's like, I've been stuck on this. And then I show them something and they're like, oh my goodness, I got it. And then they can go in that little like light bulb moment, just like will keep me happy for days. I'm like, look, I helped. Yay. So, yeah, and exactly, Monique. It's fun just to be with like-minded people, and be able to be yourself. Exactly. So there we go. I hope to see a bunch of you. And please, 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 if the times that we've been doing this are not, or even if they are, no matter what if the times are working for you or not, no matter what, if you would like to attend or are attending, please make sure to fill in that poll in the Crochet Foundry Makes group so I can make sure that moving forward these are happening at times that work for people. Okay. I don't want. Thank you very much, Monique. I don't want. I don't want somebody who really wants to be able to come to not be able to come because like 3 to 5 would be perfect for them, and ours are either from 1 to 3 or from 7 to 9. You know. So let me know, and I will do my best to rearrange the schedule in such a way that as many people as possible can show up. All right. I'm going to stop rambling on before it hits 1 o'clock and get myself some lunch and do some other stuff. So hopefully I will see a bunch of you in like 6 hours. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy stitching, and I will see you later.